Welcome, everyone. A brand new show, TFG Tuesdays, coming to you live every week with one of the game's biggest names. I'm talking about a superstar. This bloke has worn a blazer 3 times. He's even captained the All-Australian team in 2023. He kicked 66 goals that year. He kicked 44 last year. He set up 1,000. They had a Coleman. We get the most polarising figure coming to you live every single Tuesday night. I'm talking about our man, Toby Greene. Welcome, Tobes, to TFG Tuesdays.
Thank you, mate. Take a breath. Good to be here. Looking forward to it. Should be a bit of fun throughout the year.
I need to take a breath. We had a few goes at that, mate. I'm pumped. This is something that, I've always wanted to do. Real time every week. Who knows what you're going to do on the field? We know that once you cross that white line, something's going to happen. It could be 5 goals. It could be something else. But you are one of the most exciting players in the game, and everyone loves hearing from you. So, mate, thank you for believing in this. We can't wait. TFG Tuesdays, as I said, we record this as soon as you get home from training, and we pump this puppy right out to you. Mate, I've got to go straight from the top. We're not wasting time on this show. It's going to be short, sharp, and straight down the line. But breaking news, Jesse Hogan, the Coleman medalist, is out with a broken thumb. We're going to miss Stringer as well, who's out for 2. Tom Green's missing. What's going on, mate? Talk to me about this thumb, though, because it's just come across my desk.
Yeah, it's not ideal. It's frustrating for Hogs, frustrating for us. He's done it on the bus home from Canberra, if you would believe that. He's opened the bathroom door on the bus. It's slammed on his thumb. He didn't think much of it at the time. Knew it was sore. Ended up getting a scan Saturday or Sunday and come back with a clean break of the thumb. So probably not the news I was expecting yesterday when King has called me, but is what it is. And, we got to buy after our first 2, so he'll be back after that, I'd say. But it's he's the best player in the comp just about, so it certainly hurts us, but brings an opportunity for Cads and Maxi Grew potentially. So is what it is. Can't do much about it now, just bloody stiff, really.
It's very stiff. I think moving forward, Kingers and the club, they need to get a limousine for someone like Jesse just to make sure there's none of these dramas with the doors. But that's wild scenes. And I hope it's all right because we need that thumb to be spot on because he takes the most contested, marks in the competition and we need it. So there you go. I didn't think that. I didn't really know. I thought he might have done it on the footy field, but he's done it on the team bus on the toilet door.
Yeah, I don't know if people know that, but they will now. It's just a freak accident. Can't really help it. Can't do much about it. Is what it is. We've got to try and get a win now without him.
And the boys, as you say, as a footy club, you move on pretty quickly, don't you? It's like he's out. Someone needs to step up. We have Cadman down there. He's a big man. He's number 1 pick for a reason. He needs to stand up big time and let him know that it's his time to shine. As they say, Brucey's time to shine in the longest yard. But he needs to step up, and he's got all the attributes to do that, I reckon.
He's been going really well, Cads. He's been bubbling along nicely. He's different to Hogs in the sense of how they play. So, it's a great opportunity for him. But, we're not expecting him to blow it out of the water. He'll be fine. We've just got to, look after him and everyone's got to probably step up in a way.
Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself here because we've got an agenda and I'm going to get to the opening round later on and talk right about that. But I guess the other news is DeGoey's out. So just for the Collingwood fans that are tuning in right now, no doubt there's a few of them. DeGoey will be out. So they're missing one of their main players as well. Let's skip over that news and get to Queensland. Cyclone Alfred. It's cancelled 2 games. So we had 4 games planned for opening round and Queensland games have all been postponed. I think they've been moved to the round 3 slot, but I could be wrong. But anyway, what were your thoughts on that? When you heard that, were you thinking they were maybe going to cancel that? Have you spoken to anyone?
Yeah, it's it's crazy. It's unique. Georgia told me about it a couple of days ago. She said, I think Jake Stein might have filtered the news down and I said, they're not going to move the game. Don't be stupid. They'll just play. It'll be wet. But as I learnt more about this Cyclone Alfred and I guess so is everyone else. It must be pretty serious. And, I think the best option for them probably was to move it. You're going to have 2 ruined games of footy anyway. And I think the Brisbane boys are actually under a bit of pump. So, fair enough. They got to keep going. And, they'll play at round 3, which will be interesting. I don't know what it does to the fixture and what that looks like now, but it's a tricky one for the AFL.
Yeah, it certainly is. I spoke to someone the other day and, I said, have they ever cancelled a game? And they said, yeah, mate, COVID every second week. So I thought, oh, well, they've done it before. They can do it again. And most players playing these days have probably been through something similar. So we move on there. Hey, more eyes on the Sydney games, which we love. But look, there's a bone to pick with you. There's a lot of people down here. I'm recording from Victoria. And the question is, should we keep opening round? What are your thoughts on opening round?
Oh, Tommy, my thoughts, they're very strong around it's a great opportunity to grow the game in the northern states. It's footy's biggest opportunity to take over Australia, really, and Western Sydney's a huge part of that. So it's a much needed injection of AFL into these parts of where it wouldn't be starting until next week. NRL started this weekend or last weekend, so it's It provides huge benefit. It provides, huge marketing opportunity for the AFL. Super important. And if they take it away because of some wet weather, then I don't know what I'll do, mate. I'll go on strike.
Well, I don't want to see you on strike, mate. You'll be a dangerous man on strike, I reckon. But as a Victorian, though, we love the build-up. We love the big crowds. You grew up barracking for Essendon. And we just get just the 4 games. You're saying it's definitely here to stay. We're not going to bring it back to Victoria to kick it off for the season.
I think their fixture's pretty even at the moment in terms of the interstate teams. Like Freo and Perth get that extra home game this year because of North. Gather round helps the South Australian teams. That's a little bonus. Opening round helps Northern states. So I think it's the competition slated towards Victorian sides, just having so many of them in the one place. So I think those little opportunities to help those teams, it sort of provides a bit of balance, and opening round does that, and those other games do that. So I think it's as fair as it can be at the moment, and I'd love to see it keep going. I don't think Gather Round would be anywhere better than South Australia, and those Perth teams do. As you'd know, it's pretty hard work. So it is what it is, and I think we just keep moving forward with it.
Well said, mate. Well said. Like you mentioned, we need to grow the game, and those states that we're playing the footy games in is where we can get more kids through Auskick and whatnot, and then playing in the big league. Let's jump to Kane Corns. He's breaking news on the TFG Tuesday agenda here. He has just released his top 50 players. Now, guess where he ranked you?
Well, it was in the top 15, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, you'd hope so. He's ranked you at 13. How do you feel about that is my first question.
I think I'm flattered. I don't think I deserve that after last year. So I've got a bit of work to do to earn that spot. But I haven't gone through the list to be honest, mate. But Kane knows what he's talking about. I think I need to earn that a little bit, mate. I need a good few weeks to start.
Well, mate, you got to remember you had the Blazer and the Skipper 2023. So, yeah, just because you played a bit, further up the ground and Hogs finished it off, don't be so hard on yourself. But anyway, we move on. I want to know a question from you. Who is your top 3 in the AFL, but you can't name a Giants player?
Well, yeah, you robbed me because you've mentioned top 3 there, and I've gone top 5, and I've gone Hogs 1, Jezza 2, Bont 3, Nick Dacos 4. Isaac Rankin 5 is a little roughy, and I love watching him, and I reckon he's ready to explode.
There's something about these big blokes that don't grow on trees, and I know you love Jezza and you love Hogs, but you love a big dominant key forward.
Oh, mate, they're the best, and it's the hardest position, and they're the hardest to acquire. What Hogs did last year was pretty unbelievable in terms of contested marks and kicking goals. I don't think Dacos has ever taken a contested mark in his life, so it shows how hard it is.
Hey, that's a compliment because you're saying how good he is, right?
Yeah, he's a freak. He's, I dare say we'll put a bit of work into him this week, but he's just, if you let him run around and do what he wants, he'll carve you every day of the week. He's just electric, and his ball control and his decision making's first class.
The best fullback ever versus the best full forward ever. You're saying full forward any day of the week, and if you are, why again?
Well, fullbacks all they have to do is spoil, mate. It's not too complicated. Granted, they're competitive and have a crack, but no, mate, I'm taking the full forward every day of the week.
I've heard you rip these blokes live in the change rooms. That's very good. Who's smarter, you reckon, the fullback or the full forward?
Tough question. I'm thinking Slammer v Hogs, both a bit different, both reasonably smart. So it's pretty close, actually, that one.
It would be close. They're different beasts, some of them, like you just mentioned. Very good, mate. Very good. I love getting it off to a little start there with the breaking news. It's probably time to start talking footy. As we should have mentioned, by the way, off the top, how this show is going to work. We're pretty pumped. It's going to be every single week. We get to live through the life of you and the lens, and we get to get your opinions on the big footy matters and also world matters, and we'll have some fun segments throughout the year, and we'll get feedback from all the big footy fans and TFG fans. We're going to record every single week on a Tuesday. You're going to have training at some times. You might be in a leadership group meeting that goes late, but the plan is to get this up Tuesday night. We haven't put a time there for a reason because we know how difficult your schedule is, but TFG's Tuesday nights, that's right, TFG Tuesday night every single week. And you've promised to hang around every week until the season's over and you give us one more. So provided you go all the way like I've tipped, you'll win the big one. You'll be hanging around on the Mad Monday week, which would be fun on a Tuesday because we know you do your best work that week as well. It's time to talk a bit of footy. I want to jump straight into preseason form. As a fan, we're 0-2. I watched a little bit of the Sydney game, which was 7 quarters. It's always a bit different, but we did get we got served up a bit of a treat there from the Swannies. And then last week, we probably wanted a response, but the scoreline was 58 points Blues way. Can you just talk to us about preseason, how important it is, what King has said to you after those 2 games, and as a Giants fan, should we be concerned?
Well, one word was horrible. So it certainly wasn't what we wanted to get out of the preseason. I think the first game we sort of rolled in there and with a mindset not worthy of an AFL standard. And then against Carlton on the weekend, we were looking for a lot better performance than what we gave. So we got a lot of work to do, mate. We got to try and capture some of that, defense and pressure, which just haven't been existent, and which was sort of our one woods over the last couple of years. So especially our pressure. So that's a huge work on for this week and going forward. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter too much. But if you can't really start to turn some things around and get going and put in a strong performance this week, then it does matter. So hopefully that's the case. And those 2 key areas are the big things we'll be looking to turn around.
Was the review quite harsh?
Nah, not too harsh. It was pointed. It was deliberate, and I think everyone walked out of there knowing what we want to deliver this weekend. If that had been an AFL game, it would have been fairly harsh, I imagine. Which was definitely fair enough. So, no, mate, we've got a bit of work to do, and no better way to do it this weekend. First game of the year against the Pies should be a cracker.
It will be a cracker. It will certainly be. And it leads us into opening round, and we're going to talk about the Pies coming up to Sydney and taking on the Giants at the end. But a little birdie tells me opening round that you might be, have your Channel 7 debut. You might be featuring on the coverage Friday night when Sydney hosts the Hawks. Is that true, or is someone giving me the dodgy mail that you get on a Saturday arvo?
No, that's correct, mate. That's one of those good tips you get, like your NFL tipping. No, it'd be good fun, mate. It was a different experience, and keen to have a crack at. And I don't think I'll be doing a whole heap, but it'll be a great experience and something I look forward to. It should be a good game as well, that Swans Hawks game.
It certainly will. It's going to be another. There's been a lot of big injuries. It's kind of. You said Goulden's just hurt his ankle. Bont's obviously out for a bit. Now we heard the Hogs news. There's a lot of big names out, but that Hawks-Sydney game should be an absolute cracker. It was very slippery last year. What are the conditions like in Sydney at the moment and this week? Is there anything that we need to know about the conditions?
No, it's not like Queensland. I think it's not. It's a little bit overcast all week. It's not too hot. We had a game a couple of years ago where it was about 40 degrees on that first game of the year. So it's not that. It'll be reasonably humid and maybe a little bit slippery, but other than that, it'll be game on.
All right, Tobes. Well, it's time. It's opening round. It's everything that the GWS Giants want. You get to kick the season off. There's only 2 games this week, and provided Sydney Hawks is a cracker, then you guys get the second one on Sunday. I'll be there. Can't wait to watch you boys live. You got the chocolates last year, and you always turn up. I can't wait to see that pressure that you just spoke about. But you're playing the Pies. And the Pies aren't no mugs. These Pies, they're hungry. I know they won the flag, 2 years ago, 2023, and they had a bit of a down year last year, but they'll be coming back. They've got a few players that missed. They had a lot of injuries last year, and as we mentioned, we're missing a couple, maybe more than a couple. This game's going to be big. Their fans travel. How excited are you for the game? Because we know this is going to be a packed crowd.
Yeah, it'd be good. It'd be awesome. I think it's just about sold out, which is something that we don't get to do too often. So it's an awesome experience. And last year, it was unreal atmosphere as well. So hopefully we can emulate something like that in terms of how the game goes. But they are a good travelling fan base, and I think it's a long weekend in Melbourne, isn't it? So hopefully there's a good crowd and get the Orange Army going.
We need to see the Orange Army, the high vis, no doubt. We'll see a few out there. Well, look, I was going to mention this, or I was going to think, no, do I, don't I? I'm going to have to bring it up, but we've lost a couple of blokes. Bobby Hill was there when I was playing, but he's been at the Pies for a while. But Harry Perryman, he decided to take the cash, the great man. We love Pezza, but he walked out on the club, and now he comes up against his old mob opening round. I mean, that's a nightmare for some blokes when they leave. They don't want to play their old team the first week. As the skipper, can we expect a few words, or are you just going to let your actions do the talking?
Well, mate, we're going to worry about us to start with, but I'm sure I'll pop past him at some stage and say something. But he's running around the midfield at the moment, so I don't know if I'll see him too much, but no, I will actually. So it'll be good. It'll be good. We'll see how he goes, and I'm sure a few of the boys will have a few cheeky words with him.
It must be hard seeing so many blokes every year leave because of money. They get offered a great opportunity. They are setting up their families. But, we've just seen Iden stay. We've just seen Finn stay. Long-term deals. But the Giants, they cop it every year, don't they? They must say the recruiters have done very well because these Victorian sides, they just throw some big pay packets at it. Do you notice that every year that there's one?
Yeah, it's a little bit of the nature of the beast. And, when you got high draft picks and some of them perhaps aren't playing, or some get offered, cash that we can't match, then it becomes very hard. I guess what you can try and provide is, a high performing environment and a team that wants success and somewhere you have fun as well. So that's all we can really do. And I think we do that at a reasonable level. And all those boys that left last year were really a big part of the footy club. So it was super disappointing to lose all of them. But sometimes money talks, mate, and you can't control that.
It does. Money does talk. And as I said, it can set your future up. We love Pez and we love all those boys. But on that field, no doubt, there'll be a bit of a little hustle bustle and a few words. I can't wait to see it. I'd love to see one of you tackle each other and get underneath the pack there. But, mate, let's talk about our boys. Connor Iden extending. Finn's extended as well. St Kilda's offered the largest contract in history, was the report. But it's pretty cool to see these blokes just knock it back and say, no, I'm pretty happy here. You must be pretty proud as a skip. Yeah,
it was unbelievable. And I think that report's pretty bang on from what I'm hearing. So it's an incredible offer, and it shows sort of where the game's going. But Finn's he's a great kid, and, a huge part of the footy club again. I imagine he'll be a leader very soon, and his attributes are as good as any. So hopefully, we can get the best out of him, and he starts to become one of the best midfielders in the comp is what we're planning on.
With Tommy Greene out, is there another role from someone? You probably can't speak too much if they're coming from another position, but who are the players that we expect to get more game time in there? Is it Finn?
I mean, he would already be in there anyway. Toby McMullen misses the first couple of weeks, but he was putting a strong case forward, and I think he will do throughout the year. Cogs will probably play a fair bit of wing to start with, just coming back from a shoulder. So, I think there'll be a fair few boys rolling through there, I reckon. A few boys from the forward line will pop through at different stages, but it gives a chance for someone to step up for sure. Harry Rouston's someone that might grab that spot, so be interesting.
Yeah, love it, mate. And let's talk about, there's a lot of people that play Supercoach. We've set up a league. I might actually drop it in the link in our bio this week. We've got a few people that reached out. I thought, well, let's set it up. Let's have a go at it. I haven't done it for a while, but they do love Supercoach and they love a little gem. Who's been training the house down at the Giants? Who's probably won the preseason? Even if it's a star, I want to know who that is. But then also give us a rising star, someone that hasn't been, someone that floats under the radar.
I reckon Hogan was going as good as anyone. He was just continued on catching everything in pre-season. So, but then one rising up. Cads will play a lot more footy this year. He'll play every week, really, and we need him to sort of keep building. He's probably not a super coacher, though, because he has to earn every kick he gets. So, I mean, Widders will score well. He's had as good a pre-season as he's had in the last 5 years. So, he's one. Briggsy will take a few out of the ruck, I reckon. So that could be a big scoring play.
The ruckman, I think they do dominate the ruckman, and Briggsy, he does go all right. Let's talk about your matchup, mate. Maynard, he comes to you every time you play. It's great to watch. What are you going to expect? Because I heard he's had the plantar fascia. He might be a bit, there's been a few question marks going into the game, Tub.
Is there? I haven't heard that one. I'll start doing my research, probably today, tomorrow, and the next few days. But no, I would have played on him 10, 15 times, mate. It's always a good battle. He's got me a few times, that's for sure. So it'd be something similar, I reckon. Collingwood play a bit of a team D as well. They try and help out as much as they can. So no, I know what to expect, and I just got to deliver my end of the bargain. But it's always a hot contest, and looking forward to it again.
Love it, mate. Well, we can't wait as well. We talked about your role last year. It changed a little bit, All-Australian skipper with the goals, 66, and 44 last year, which is still amazing. You had a lot of assists, but clearly we had the Coleman medalist, so the big fella was kicking all the goals. What's your role going to look like this year? Is it much the same as last year? Is it more, do you play a little bit deeper? As we know, like we have a couple of injuries now. Does that mean that you become the man? What can we expect from you this year?
No, mate. I'll be very similar to what I've done the last few years. Just trying to be, the best presence I can be out there, and whether that's making an impact in the forward half or getting up the ground a bit. We'll just sort of play it by ear. But yeah, no, there won't be too much change, mate. I'm going to just try and make sure I'm out there as much as I can and get into as many contests. That's my plan.
Love it, mate. Well, geez, I can't believe the footy season's just around the corner. We haven't got long now. It's been a long wait. The excitement, the fans must be bubbling. Have you got a message for the Giants fans just to pack out NG Stadium?
I'll make sure they get down, mate. I'm pumped to. It'll be an awesome experience. And as I said last year, I didn't forget running out in front of a full crowd. Can you hear Ola there in the background?
Yeah, we can hear her. She sounds hungry. It is time for dinner, so we better make sure that the old man wraps up soon. It's been a fantastic start at TFG Tuesdays, mind you, Tub.
Yeah, she's super hungry, mate. But I hope they all get down, and the more the merrier. And we want to build something special this year, so it's a great chance to start that way.
Love it, mate. Well, thank you for believing in this concept, mate. This is the start of many. This year will be so fun when we look back, but we're going to be documenting this as we go. It's going to be so good. Opening round against the Pies with the Giants up against it in the forward line. But if there's a man to stand up, it's yourself, and we've got you right here every week on TFG Tuesdays. Thanks so much, mate, for everything, committing to the full season. I'm excited as much as you are. And, to everyone that's tuned in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and share this to a mate that loves the king up there. He's ranked 13. Let's get you up the top 10 halfway through the year, mate, and send this to Kane Corns himself. But thanks, mate. Go feed Isla. I think she's hungry down there, mate. You better go feed her, and I'll go get myself a feed as well.
Yeah, you're getting a side bowl, mate. It's about the side time for you. You have dinner about 10 p.m. So, it should be good fun, mate. Looking forward to the year.
A lot's changed since then. Thanks, Tub. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week right here on TFG Tuesdays.
Thank you, mate.